Investigators are still sifting through the debris at Notre Dame Cathedral, and reports indicate the fire appears to be an accident. However, as One America's Pearson Sharp explains, the fire comes after a surge in violence against Christians and Catholic churches over the last few years.
Following the tragic fire at Notre Dame Cathedral, investigators are sifting through the rubble, trying to determine a cause. For now, experts say the fire appears to be an accident, possibly caused by renovation work on the roof. While it's not yet clear what caused the fire, the incident comes after months of arson and destruction of Catholic churches all across France, along with a shocking surge in violence against both Christians and Jews. In an appalling response to the blaze, Muslims around the world took to the internet and celebrated the destruction of the iconic cathedral. On Facebook, thousands of Muslims reacted to the news with laughing faces. More Muslims chimed in on France 24's Arabic Facebook page, with commenters praising the fire, saying they were happy to see France burning and calling it a wonderful, beautiful fire, saying they hoped the Eiffel Tower was next. Still others poured their support for the fire onto the pages for Al Jazeera, with over 1 million posting a laugh reaction at the fire. Others, seen at the fire itself, were photographed laughing while walking away from the blaze. A Vienna-based group called the Observatory on Intolerance and Discrimination Against Christians in Europe reports the month of February of this year has been the worst for attacks on churches since it started keeping records. In March, the second largest church in Paris, Saint-Sulpice, was set on fire by arsonists, causing several $100 million in damages. Members of France's National Assembly said the attack was another example of the violence being committed against Catholics and their places of worship. In another case this February, a cross made of human feces was smeared on the wall of a Catholic church in Nîmes while vandals plundered the church and desecrated the holy icons. In the space of a single week in March, a dozen Catholic churches were attacked. Police reports show more than 80% of the desecration of religious places in France involves attacks on Christian churches, with many church doors defaced with Islamic expressions such as Allahu Akbar. On average, arsonists and vandals attack 3 churches in France every day. Churches in Germany have suffered a similar fate, with police often describing the perpetrators as young Islamists or rioters with a migrant background. A recent report found that Islamic extremist attacks on Christians in France are up by 38%, and government statistics reveal well over 1,000 acts of hatred and violence carried out against Christians last year. Yet in the same time period, hate crimes against Muslims were at their lowest numbers in nearly a decade. The flood of third world Muslim migrants has coincided with a spike in hate crimes against Christians, with vandalizing churches becoming one of the most common forms of attacks. In 2016, a 22-year-old radical Muslim woman was foiled in a plot to pack a car full of explosives and detonate it near the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. That same year, Islamic extremists murdered an 84-year-old Catholic priest, slitting open his throat before attacking an elderly nun at the church in Normandy. Both attackers had pledged their loyalty to the Islamic State. And while Christians and Jews are fleeing the violence, Muslims are pouring in by the millions. The once prosperous Paris suburb of Saint-Denis is now home to nearly 500,000 illegal aliens. 40% of the population is now Muslim, and more people speak Arabic than French. Mosques now outnumber churches, with some 160 official mosques dwarfing the 117 Catholic churches in the area. And the few churches remaining are under attack. In March, the 800-year-old Basilica of Saint-Denis was desecrated, with vandals destroying the church's organ and throwing stones through its ancient stained glass windows. Some 350 jihadists are known to be hiding in Saint-Denis, but those are just a few of the 15,000 terrorists now living in France, thanks to President Emmanuel Macron's open-door migration policy. It's not clear what the outcome will be, but the violence is growing, and since 2015, Muslim radicals have killed hundreds of French citizens in multiple attacks across the country. And whether the media reports it or not, hate crimes and attacks on Christians are growing. French citizens are being killed, and the churches are burning. For One America News, I'm Pearson Sharp.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.